Hello, this is Steve Hubbard with Worldwide Webmasters, and I wanted to put together a quick video presentation for you in regards to your website. I want to talk about potentials. I want to talk about an idea of website layout moving forward, and I also want to talk about some of the prices that we can and a plan that we can put together for you as well. So let's kind of look through your website now. I've looked through your entire website. You don't have a lot of pages at all. It's home projects, services. You should have an about us page, especially if you're doing business with the government. They want to see that you have a capability statement. They want to see information about who you are. They definitely want to have like your projects there. They want to see a past performance. So there's really no past performances up here. One thing that you could do though is you could put kind of like stock photos up there just to kind of give you a little bit of a past performance, and then replace it as you move forward with other photos that you have of your current project. Which, from looking, I did some research with you online, and also looking at some of these videos, these images here. It does look like you have some projects with images that we can throw up there, which will help them understand a little bit about your past performance. Another thing is that you have to look at the content that you're putting on here. Right now, the information you have up here doesn't really please, someone that's looking to do business with you. You have to have more information about who you are, what services you offer, and your homepage needs to be more like a landing page, because you have about 2 to 3 seconds of an attention span when someone comes to your website to capture their interest. And if you don't capture their interest, then they're going to bounce off your website. So it's going to lower your conversion rates. Now, what I mean by conversion rates are when people forward your information to a potential buyer, or fill out a form, or contact you, or email you from your website. Those are all conversion rates. So you want to increase those conversion rates. You also want to increase the usability, and you want to increase the user engagement. Those are all areas that we need to do here. So you have like a little slider option here, and so the you have your information down here, but basically it's bland. There's no footer, and the top here, I'd like it to be more engaging and more interactive. So if we could put a slider up top there, but also have on the slider text and information content that people can read and click real quick. Quick little tagline, quick little selling factor, and call to action, read more button. Those things like that will actually help increase the engagement and clicking through to your website. You want to also list out some of your services on your homepage. Those 2 to 3 seconds of attention span that you get when someone comes to your website, they might not want to go to your navigation, and look at your services right away. Most of the part, you have to keep in mind that the people that come to a website, and I hate to use this word, but they're lazy in terms of wanting to look at and click too many things. So what they want to do is they want to get from the homepage what you offer. They want to have trigger words to call to action. They want you to tell them what you want them to do. So we need to beef up this homepage a little bit better, so it's more professionally laid out and has a lot more information that excites and also gets people interested to click through to your website. So those are some of the things that we need to do here. Now we look at your projects page. Obviously, there's nothing on there, so we need to actually put something there. But we also need to lay this out so it's really nice and engaging to the user as well, and fluent. One thing that I've noticed is that there's no breadcrumbs, meaning that the orientation and the navigation, I'm not exactly too sure what page I'm on, or how to get back to where I was at, because there's no breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs allows the user to kind of look at where they're at, and it usually is up here, um, on the header area. But it's kind of bland. But what I'd like to do for you is I'd like to make your website look very powerful and very engaging and very professional, so that when a government agency looks at you, or a contractor looks at you to do business with you, they see a company that they can feel good about. before they even talk to you, because a lot of the times your first impression is what people base their decisions on. So you could be losing a lot of business but not understanding that your website is the factor of that business that you're being losing. So if you actually have a better looking website, you'll have more engaging traffic, more conversion rates or increased conversion rate, and you'll have a lot more people navigating through your website, using your website, interacting with your website. So we also want maybe something on the footer area that also pleases the ability to always depend on that footer area to find information, just basic information like who you are, links of that, related links, things like that. Now, there's one thing that you also have to keep in mind is there's two people that you have to please here. You have to please the visitors that come to your website, and you also have to please the search engines. Now, the search engines, they want to see that your website has all the triggers to understand that when someone searches for your type of business in your geographical location, that you come up in the search results. But if you don't have your website set up with some of those triggers, then they're going to drop your website altogether. And we don't want that to happen. So there's a certain compliance that you want to go through to make sure that that happens. Here's a little tool to kind of give us an at a glance. But before we even look at that, I want to just explain one of the triggers is having more content and more organized information in terms of what your keywords are going to be. More images that have alternate tags on the back end that explain what the image is, so that it gives the search engines that can't see with eyes look and learn what the information is so they can understand how to pull you up in search queries. So that's one option. And so that's the first thing that we need to do is make sure that we're juicing up that content a little bit better on each page. Then here's a little tool that I use to kind of just diagnose. It kind of gives me all kinds of page information, the perimeters, the domain, the backlinks that you have, which are very low, by the way. We can also compare with other competitions if we want to by just putting another URL here from another competitor. There's all kinds of stuff we could do. The density of keywords, external pages, internal pages, and by the way, you have no external pages showing up at all on any of these forums. Let me just double check that. So that needs to be increased as well. And also we have the internal pages, which there's only 4 of those. So, we could increase those by adding a blog to your website. You have a blog to your website. Every time you create a post, you're adding another page to your website. Now the search engines like that because it's a post from a blog, which a blog in is always being updated, and that's how search engines look at it. So it's going to be more pleasing to the search engines knowing that you update your content. So we want to actually add a area where people can have your news for roofing or news in regards to your business. We want to add that up here too as well. So we're missing an About Us page. We're missing a newsletter page. We want to beef it up. We want to make it look more professional. I think that your logo is a little misplaced. Usually, typically on websites, we want to see your logo up here on the left-hand side so that you can identify the page. That's sort of the traditional way of how websites are lined up these days, and we want to make sure that we're following that so that when people go from your competitor website to your website, it still has that transition that's going to be clear for them to understand your brand and also the content. Because in my opinion, this area right here could be utilized with more triggers to get people to connect into the website instead of just throwing a logo up here with all this white space all over here. So we want to keep that in mind. We want to utilize the space to the maximum capacity. We understand that your brand, but your brand doesn't have to be, completely, taking over the whole entire area, because we can use those areas for more effective things. So that's what we want to do there. Now, here's the tool that I have. Let's go with basic diagnostics. So I use this Page SEO Audit because it lets me into the back end of the website to see how compliant it is to search engines. So far, we know that there's no meta description. So if we wanted to search for, let's just say, single ply roofing. Okay, I want you to see something. Okay, so on this right here, this company, they're coming up first. Um, what this tells me is that this has a description. Okay, and this right here is the title. And you can see all these have descriptions and titles. So if you take away this description, then one, it doesn't comply with how Google search engine works, and two, people aren't going to be able to have an idea of what you can offer them. And another thing about doing this too is when you look at your competition, you can actually research some of their triggers like single ply roofing. And look what comes up. You have these ads that come up. And this is just a segue to keywords and looking to what works. When people have these ads that come up, they're paying hundreds of dollars to have these ads come up, and they have to pay for certain keywords to rank. And so if you look at their keywords, trusted local roofing contractor, that could be a long tail keyword there that we can use for your business. Coastal building services, roof repairs as another keyword that you use. So you could actually use some of these keywords with your business. That's some of the things that we do so that we can help you get ranked a little bit better on the search engines. I also want to point out that these are videos that show up as well, because videos are another key component to a website to make it rank better and to get people to get to your website. So there's options for us to create videos for you as well. But I just want you to understand that little piece of knowledge so that you understand the direction that we'd like to take your website and the think tank behind it. So other than that, that's some of the things that we're wanting to do with you. So we want to make sure that you're having a meta description on the back end once we create your website. We want to make sure you're utilizing heading tags. So what are heading tags? Let's just see heading tags. This is a quick little education into some of the things that we consider when we're building on the website. So heading tags are HTML tags. We can build as many as we want, but typically it only comes 1 through 6. Now, what's great about the heading tags is that you can code them through CSS so that when you're on a web page and you're putting together a website, it would all be sort of uniform throughout the website whenever you choose. Here's a page, and I want it to have a heading tag for a main heading tag and some sub heading tags, that you can use. And every time you choose those heading tags throughout the website, it'll be uniformed throughout the website. And what search engines like to see is they like to see the keywords or keyword phrases in the heading tags, because they use that to make decisions on your ranking and if you should be pulled for certain search end results, search pages when someone's searching for your type of company. So those are some things that we need to consider as well when we're working on your web page. Those are things that we do consider. You do have a mobile compliant website, which is good, but there's some areas here that really are hurting you in terms of ranking. XML sitemaps. You want to have an XML sitemap because it will help a search engine actually navigate through your website. Because they can't go to the navigation bar like a human can and search that way. They have to have that sitemap to help organize the information. And also Google Analytics. You want to be able to find out what the traffic is going to your website so that you can adjust things accordingly. Now, when you find out the how Google Analytics is looking at your website and what pages people are going to and what the bounce back rate is and all that stuff, then it's going to help you learn a little bit more about how to rearrange your website and how to market your website and things along those lines. So that's what we need to consider as well moving forward. But overall, we want to increase the professionalism of your website, make it look a little bit better, more organized, more professional, more compatible, more comparable to your competition, and more marketable, which is a key component there. So here's what we came up with. Here is no, that's not what we came up with. Here it is, right here. Oh, that's not it either. Here it is. All right, here's a template idea that we came up with. Okay. Okay, so this template right here possesses all the components that I was mentioning to you. Let's view it up in 66. Okay. So I'll send you a copy of this so that you can see. But right out of the gate, what do you see? Back, you got your information up top here, so I can always depend on the fact that I can contact you whenever I need to contact you. I can also depend on the fact that your social media, if I wanted to connect with your social media, we can go through that. And that was another thing I wanted to point out. To get a highly ranked website, you want to connect with your social media so that people can, so that the social media sites can help you give a boost on your website ranking. And we could actually connect the social media to your blog so that, and by the way, it doesn't have to say blog, and could be news instead of blog, because I know blog is such a negative word sometimes to some people because they're like, well, I don't want to maintain a blog on my website. Well, we can use it as a news portal where you have news in regards to information about your business, new projects that are coming up, and new things that are happening that are going on your website that you want to let people know, whether it be just a video or maybe an image or something like that. You can use that for that. But what's great about this, every time you add something to it, it creates another page connected to your website, creating more external links or internal links. Um, Now, this header here, or this first part of the website, right in this area, I'm focused on. And so, right out of the get, I understand what it is that you offer. Um, I get that I can get commercial roofing, residential roofing, multifamily roofing. Now, I want you to understand that I need to talk with you a little bit more in regards to understand some of the services that you offer, and then we can adjust this accordingly. This template is just an example and is known as what we call a wireframe. Now, a wireframe is something to kind of give you the design elements of where the placement can be with some information. Everything can change, such as the color, the text, the content, the images. We can replace these images with your company information. These are all stock photos that we use to kind of give you an idea of where things are going to go and what can happen. So we want to give people right out of the gate, read more or learn more or go to your services or whatever. And then we got information on the basics of the top three options that people buy from you. Now, as they scroll down, we have another trigger area where people can click to learn more. We have all your areas right here. We could put other information here, but this is how we want to lay all this out. Now, I'm going to need your guidance in terms of the text that we need to put on here. And then we'll probably rearrange some of this stuff, but you can see the direction where we want to go as a more functional website, a more interactive website, a more professional layout with more interaction and more adaption for the user so that your website doesn't just become an informational piece, but it also becomes an interactive piece that people can forward to other people, rely on for information, and also interact with the content as well. And that's what we want to do. That's sort of the direction. Now, once we move forward, we can talk about all these things, and we'll, find out if we need to revamp this a little bit and then add some of your information in here so that it's a little bit more of a more customized piece. But this is sort of the direction I'd like to go with what you're doing to kind of give you an option. Now, what's great about this too is it's stacked in just a way so that if you scale it down on a mobile device, it still looks clean and professional. So that's what we want to do here. So now let's talk about pricing. Okay. Now, you don't have a lot of pages at all. So I think that the best option for you would be the bronze package. It's a 5-page website, which we could, adding the basic 5 pages, which is your um, um, home, about us, portfolio, services, and contact us. We don't include the blog in that. The blog is free, or the news portal is free because it helps, it actually adds to itself after we add some content moving forward. I also suggest that you take advantage of investing at least $400 more in addition to this package to get an integrated marketing plan. What does that mean? Okay, integrated marketing means that we're going to get involved with local business directories, social media. We're going to set these up for you. We're going to provide with 3 blogs. We're going to do some blog link strategy where we're linking the blogs to certain parts of the web page. We're going to do posting all the blogs to the social media. We're going to set up form post marketing, convert blogs into press releases, do 3 press releases, set up a YouTube channel, create a couple of intro videos, and optimize them on your YouTube channel. What this is going to do is creating natural backlinks and link wheels, which is all the ingredients that search engines like to see in regards to a website. It's going to naturally give you a boost, and it's going to help you with a good position on the web. So this is just a cherry on top, so to speak, in regards to what we're offering you. Now, when we do build the website, it takes us about 2 to 3 weeks to kind of finalize everything, and that includes, that helps us understand if there's any problems that we need to fix or any adjustments that we need to make with you or anything like that. But every website that we build, we include this with it. Google Webmaster Tools set up, Google Analytics, Google Keywords, meta description and keywords set up on each page, micro formats coded if necessary, plugins that we install, and XML sitemaps as well. So this is the plan that I think would be best for you since you only have like 5 pages. And then we can also include this for $3.99. But for 1 year, you're going to get free hosting. But it's not just a regular website hosting plan. It also includes website maintenance, tech support, and design support. And what that basically means is for 1 year, you don't have to pay hosting. And anytime you need any updates or adjustments or anything done to your website, anything added or taken off or text or images, we do it for you, and we do not charge you anything extra. We just do it for you for free because you're covered under the Platinum Hosting Plan for 1 year. At the end of the year, you'll have the opportunity to actually purchase a basic hosting plan or continue with the Platinum Hosting Plan, which they're both affordable. And we could dive into that in 1 year after when your renewal comes up. Other than that, that's pretty much the basic plan. This tells you what to expect over the 2 to 3 weeks and what we envision moving forward with, and how we plan on working on this website. Some of this is pretty basic. We want to make sure that you have an admin console that we can log into the back end. We also want you to have a blog as well available to you. And what's great about working with us is that we will create, if you wanted to learn more about the back end of your website and how to perform basic administrative tasks, we could actually do videos for you, custom tutorials for you personally to help you learn certain tasks. So that's another cherry on top that we add to our program. So I'd like to provide this for you and get this working for you as soon as possible. If you want to set up a conversation over the phone, we could do that. We can get started as soon as possible. I know you got some things going on, but I wanted to get this part out of the way so that you see what our vision is, what our plan is, and let you know that we have a direction. And we're not looking to just do business with you and forget about you. We want to create a relationship where you can contact us, depend on us for anything in regards to your website or information that you want to do here on out in the future. So that's what we're looking for long-term relationships with our clients. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope this helps. And bye for now.